Robinhood have finally launched in the UK. This is huge news as they're one of America's most used investing apps with over 23 million people using them in the US. And they're bringing all their great features with them to the UK and also a great sign-up offer where you can get up to $175 worth of free stock. Their arrival to the UK has been a long time coming as they're originally set to come in 2020 and even built up a waiting list of 250,000 people. But they decided to scrap plans at that point and instead focus on the US. But now they're here and I can't wait to show you their app. In this video, I'm going to provide a walkthrough review of the app, and in order to achieve this, I'm going to split the video into 3 parts. Firstly, we're going to provide a walkthrough of the app going through the main features. Secondly, we're going to provide a pros and cons analysis. And then the third part to finish the video will be providing my own personal thoughts on whether it's worth opening a Robinhood account. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, I'm Alex, a management consultant by day, and on this channel we like to discuss all things personal finance with a particular focus on how to grow your money. And if you'd like to follow my own personal finance journey with regular portfolio updates of my Invest Engine and Monzo portfolios, as well as a bunch of other personal finance related videos like this one, then I'd greatly appreciate subscribe. But for this video, let's bring up Robinhood's app and let's start the walkthrough. The first point to note about their app is that the sign-up process to set up an account with Robinhood was super easy. It's all done via their app, and I just had to wait a few hours after providing information for them to verify that information before the app was fully up and running. So a big tick from that point of view. When you do go on the app, the first thing you see on the homepage is all the information you would expect. You see this graph showing the investing return and your balance over different time periods. You get this on most investing apps and platforms, and you'll see here that I don't have a big balance. I only have a Microsoft stock, a small fraction of a Microsoft share, which I got through a referral, so my balance is extremely low. Below that graph, you'll see the cash section, and this is a neat feature of Robinhood in that you can earn interest on uninvested cash. And this feature follows in the footsteps of Trading 212, who also have something similar to this. The interest rate they currently offer is 5%, which is very competitive considering the leading easy access savings rates at the time of recording are also around 5%. And considering that Robinhood is an investing app, not a saving app, the fact they offer 5% for uninvested cash is very competitive, and it's neat functionality as it ensures that your money is always working for you even when it's not invested. However, of course, if you're using an investing app, the main reason you use it is to invest. And if you want to see what stocks you're invested in on the app, you look at this stock section, and this is below the cash section. Here we can see my Microsoft stock, and I can choose what data I want to see for my stocks, what data I want to display. Whether that's the price, whether that's my equity, whether that's the percentage change, the return, you can customize what data you want, which is neat functionality. If you want to buy and find new stocks, we simply head over to the search tab, the second tab along the bottom navigation menu, and we can start browsing. Currently, Robinhood offer over 6,000 US stocks, and at the time of recording it is only US stocks. There's no stocks outside the US, and there's also no ETFs. So this is something they definitely need to improve on, but I'm sure they're well aware of that. And for the stocks they do have available, they have a neat feature here which helps us find stocks suited to our needs. And the feature is something called screeners. And this helps us focus our search for full stocks by providing a list of stocks based on themes. And you can even create your own screener based on filters. We can see here there's loads of different filters we can use, from analyst rating to sector to price. And we can use these filters to create a screener to find the stocks which are suited to our needs. Robinhood also provides some preset screeners, for example the new 52-week highs, which shows stocks that broke their 52-week high today. I personally wouldn't use this screener to find stocks, as I wouldn't buy a stock just because it's high, but it may be of interest to some people. And there are other screeners which are neat, for example this analyst pick one. And if we click on the analyst pick one, and let's say we find a stock from this screener and we want to learn more about this particular stock, and let's choose Microsoft. We simply click on Microsoft, and now we can see some really detailed information about the stock. So firstly, we can see this graph here, again the standard functionality and seeing a graph showing a return over different time periods. You get this on all investing apps. However, the difference with Robinhood is if we expand it here, we can see much more detailed information about the price changes with various lines here. And this is really advanced functionality and something most investors won't use, they won't know how to use. However, experienced traders, experienced investors may find this useful. If we go back, we can see below that graph, we have some information about the share. So the number of shares I have, the market value, the average cost, and so on. We have some information about the company, about the CEO, when it was founded, and so on. Then we have some statistics, so all the standard statistics many investors look at when they buy a stock. We have some recent news, and we have analyst ratings. And we even have at the bottom here what their latest quarterly earnings were. So overall, in terms of the information they offer on individual stocks, the data they offer on individual stocks, it's very extensive. And it's superior to most investing apps in the UK, in my opinion. I put this above the level of information above the likes of Freetrade and maybe even Trading 212. However, there's a big negative of using Robinhood in my opinion, and you've probably noticed this already just by going through the app in this video. And that's the fact that everything is in dollars. This is slightly annoying being in the UK. I personally prefer to see it in the home currency, but everything on this app is in dollars. And when you do deposit, Robinhood actually converts the pounds to dollars at that point, and then everything after that is in dollars. So it's a very dollar focused, very US focused app. But the good news about this is that Robinhood charge no fee for the currency conversion, and because your money is already in dollars after your deposit, there's no additional FX fees when you buy a stock. This makes them unique, as most investing platforms in the UK do charge an FX fee when you buy a stock of a foreign currency. So Robinhood definitely stand out from this perspective. More generally, Robinhood are extremely competitive on fees, as they also have no platform fee and charge no commission on trades, so no dealing fees. On first glance, this makes them one of the cheaper platforms in the UK. If we look at this comparison provided from Robinhood's website compared to other platforms in the UK, we can see they're cheaper than Freetrade, Hargreaves Lansdown, IG, and AJ Bell. However, Robinhood likely leave out their biggest competitor in Trading 212 in terms of fees from this comparison table. I'm not sure why they leave them out, as on first glance, although the fee difference between Robinhood and Trading 212 isn't as large as with the other platforms in this table, Robinhood is still cheaper than Trading 212, as they don't have an FX fee, whereas Trading 212 do at 0.15%. So in my opinion, it would have still been worth showing Trading 212 on this comparison table, as it would show that Robinhood are still better than their closest competitor. Nonetheless, it's clear that Robinhood's fee proposition is attractive for any investor in the UK. And let's now come back to the app and let's show how easy it is to buy stock using Robinhood's app. And let's buy some of this Microsoft stock. Let's buy $5 worth. And all you need to do to buy some stock is click here, click review, and then buy. So it's really easy to buy stock using Robinhood's app. Another neat feature around buying and selling stock with Robinhood is that they execute orders any time of day on weekdays. And this is a big differentiator compared to most investing platforms in the UK. I know Trading 212 allows something similar, but most investing apps in the UK, such as Freetrade, don't have this 24/7 on weekdays functionality to execute orders. So this is very neat. So overall, it's clear that Robinhood offer many great features on their app. And there's one last section of the app I want to quickly mention, and that's the news section. Here you can keep on top of all your investing news. You have all these different articles here, and you can also see how the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are doing. So this was the last section of the app I wanted to provide a walkthrough. And now we have an overview of the app, a flavor of the app. Let's move on to the pros and cons analysis to understand whether Robinhood is a good investing platform for you. On the pro side, the biggest pro in my opinion is their low fee structure, as they have no commission fee, no FX fee, and no platform fee, which makes them extremely attractive from a fee perspective. I am slightly wary about this, as there's got to be a question of how Robinhood will be able to keep this fee-free promise in the long term, considering it's not entirely clear how they intend to make money from their UK business. Nonetheless, at the moment, their fee proposition is extremely attractive. Another big pro, another big benefit of Robinhood's app is the neat UI and the extensive info they provide on stocks. We saw earlier with the walkthrough how much information they provide on individual stocks, and this could be very useful for certain types of investors. Another benefit is how easy it is to set up an account, an investing account with Robinhood. It's all done via their app, and it doesn't take long at all. Another key benefit is that you get interest on your cash, and also a very good interest rate at 5%. I know Trading 212 offer 5.2%, but nonetheless 5% is still very good, considering that Robinhood is not a saving app, it's an investing app, and it ensures your money is always working. The last pro I want to mention is their current referral bonus, as who doesn't like free money? Here you can currently get a free stock anywhere between $7 to $175 using my referral link, and you'll find that link in the description. So if it's of interest to you to start using Robinhood as a platform, then you'll be able to find the link in the description to get some free stock when you do sign up. If we move on to the cons, the biggest con in my opinion is that they currently offer no ISA account type. This is a huge negative, as it means the gains you make on your investments won't get the tax benefits of an ISA. You won't be shielded from income tax, tax on dividends, and capital gains tax. This is particularly important for the current ISA year, given the capital gains tax allowance has reduced to £3,000. This means if you use a standard investment account like this one with Robinhood, you'll pay capital gains tax on any gains you make above the £3,000 threshold if you choose to sell. This is the reason why ISAs are such a great investment vehicle, as they protect you from paying unnecessary tax. So this is a huge negative from Robinhood in terms of not having an ISA account option. Another con is that they currently offer only US stocks. They don't offer stocks outside the US or ETFs. And whether this is a con for you, of course, depends on what you want to invest in. If you only want to invest in US stocks, then this won't be a con for you. But if you're like me, who want to invest in assets outside of US stocks, then this will be a con. The last con I want to mention is that everything in the app is in dollars. This is annoying as a UK investor. I find it annoying at least, maybe you don't, but I'm going to add it as a con because to me, this is very annoying. But overall, nonetheless, Robinhood offer a great investing app in terms of their low fees and the great features on offer. The features that they provide, especially the extensive information on stocks, will be attractive to those experienced investors who use that information, given it comes at such a low cost. However, to be a real market force, in my opinion, in the UK, they've missed a big trick in not having the ISA account option for when they launched. Hopefully they'll bring this option soon, as without an ISA account option, I don't see them being a big market force in the UK. Their biggest competitor in trading 2-on-2 have similar fees, but they do have the ISA account option, which makes them much more attractive as an investor platform in the UK, in my opinion, given all the tax benefits you get with an ISA account. But if you do want to try out Robinhood's app, then they currently have a referral bonus going on at the moment where you'll be able to get some free stock. And you'll be able to get that free stock using my referral link in the description below. If you want to find out what ISA platform I'll be using for the next financial year, then I have a video around here. But for this video, thanks for watching.